is as the Public Relations Coordinator for the Flint Public Library, and I'm also a member of the League of Women Voters. We welcome you today to Preparing to Vote on Election Day with our guest speaker, City of Flint Clerk Inez Brown. This program is sponsored by Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Flint Alumni Chapter with the Flint League of Women Voters, Flint area, and the Flint Pan-Hellenic Council. Right now, I'd like to recognize the co-sponsors, the League of Women Voters, President Jeanette Hall, if you can stand and be recognized. And I will name each of the Flint Pan-Hellenic Council member organizations. And if members are present, you may stand and remain standing until we name all of the members. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, Epsilon Upsilon Lambda Chapter, where the president is Sam Wells. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Zeta Beta Omega Chapter, where the president is Georgia McCall. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated Flint Alumni Chapter with the president is Sharon F.J. Sawyer. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Zeta Beta Zeta Chapter where the president is Karen Woods. Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated Flint Alumni Chapter where the president is Albie Lewis. Fraternity Incorporated, Omicron Road Chapter, where the president is Antonio Rush. The outline for the program is very simple this evening. I'll be introducing our speaker, and she will talk to you about how to prepare to vote. Inez Brown is the clerk for the city of Flint. Prior to that, she worked for the Small Business Administration, and prior to that, she worked with Senator Dale Hillary. We are very pleased to have her. She's a credible voice in our community who will give us all the details and hopefully myth bust some of the myths that perhaps we've heard out in the community. So with little ado, City of Flint Clerk Inez Brown.
Thank you very much. Can you all hear me? Yes. And good evening to each of you. Good evening. Can you all believe that Wanda and I go way back to her teen years? And this will go to show you how old I am, although I don't want to admit it. But back in the 1970s, I believe, I co-chaired the debutante cotillion at the Negro Business and Professional Women's Clubs. And Wanda was one of our debutantes. In fact, she won many awards. She's the queen, as a matter of fact. And so when I look at her and now and see all the beauty and all that she's become, I am really, really, really very proud of you. And I'm proud that I had the honor to be a part of your life back in your teen years. So let's give her a hand. I would like to, first of all, take this opportunity to thank the coalition of organizations who are co-sponsoring this activity. I think it's long overdue, and I appreciate the fact that you are helping the city clerk's office by having such a group assembled in order to present information to the city and to voters throughout the community in terms of what will happen on election day, or what could happen on election day. So my head is off to those organizations, and I know you're not a nonprofit, and you're not involved politically in a partisan way. And I want to say that as a clerk for the city, I'm not involved in a partisan way either. And like you, how you vote, you have your own opinions, and how you choose to vote is your business. You didn't give up your citizenship even though you're part of a nonprofit organization. And even as the clerk, I didn't give up my citizenship consequences as well. Now, I said all of that to say that some of the things that I may choose to discuss may sound partisan, but they aren't, okay? But I think it's important that as we discuss the upcoming election, that I give you a real good backdrop, okay, of what's going on from an election administration and election official standpoint. And in order to give you a backdrop, I have to talk about a little bit of politics to some extent. So we cleared that up now so that I won't get fired someplace. For me, even though I am very tired today, my staff is tired, we're all tired, because we have been working 24/7 for the last 3 weeks to try to put the election together. In fact, we've been working longer than that. But in terms of the intensive work, and in terms of trying to meet all of the federal and state guidelines that we must meet in order to be in compliance with the law, we're really kind of chomping at the bit right now, so to speak. But I must say that even though I'm tired, I'm not tired, because I am energized beyond belief in terms of what I see going on in the community with respect to democracy in action, with respect to the fact that everybody in our community, throughout the state and throughout the country, has been given an opportunity to vote. Okay? In spite of how our foreparents and others and people who founded this country had to fight for those rights, we have all been given that right. Okay? And so I sit back daily and I watch as young people come into the office. This is prior to the close of voter registration. Young people come into the office to register to vote. That warms my heart to see the 18-year-olds coming in, and even some of the saggy pants people. And I don't mean that as any disrespect to the saggy pants people, because I respect the saggy pants people because they have a point of view also. Okay? In addition to that, some of those same people wanted to become election workers. And guess what we have done? We have tried to include in our recruitment process of election workers as many young people as we could in terms of seeing if they could pass the test, because we do give a test and that kind of thing. And for those who did pass the test, of course, we're going to bring them on board. But they will have to, of course, go through training. Coupled with that, we want to see young people, 15, 16-year-olds, involved in civic engagement. Like you, my parents were very involved actively in the community here in Flint many years ago. And they still continue to be involved, even though they're sitting on the couch. They're still involved. And I think that same kind of spirit and knowledge has to be passed along to our young people. And what better way to do it than to involve them in the election process on election day. Therefore, through the efforts